Hi and welcome to Papercraft with Jenny. I'm going to show you a bonus project today that was available to everybody who came to my January monthly card club. My card clubs are where I post you a kit of products in the post, and then we make the products up together into projects. And this is a bonus project that goes alongside that particular kit. So for those of you who actually completed the monthly card club with me, these are the cards you'll remember that we made all together. And we also made a little mini album as well to go with them. And then this project here, the Just Because handbag gift bag, is going to be what I'm going to show you how to make today, which could be used as a gift bag to either complement the cards or to hold the cards as well. So I'll show you that they fit inside neatly, and there's plenty of room for envelopes as well, gift tags if you wanted, even possibly a bar of chocolate or something as a gift down the side as well. So plenty of room inside the gift bag. Today, I'm not going to show you using the same papers that we used at Monthly Card Club. I'm going to show you using a different suite of papers because this month is the start of our Saleabration promotion as well. So I'm going to show you how to make this project again, but using some Saleabration papers from this 2023 Saleabration catalogue. So the papers that we're going to be using are these ones that are called the Dainty Flowers papers. As you can see, they make gorgeous floral cards and also gift wrap as well. And they're 12 by 12. You get 12 sheets, 2 of each design, and I'll show you the designs in a little bit more detail in a moment. And they also will match up with the Dainty Delight bundle, which is in our new mini catalogue as well. So that's what we're going to be using today, is these floral design papers instead of the ones that we used at Monthly Card Club. So I'll just put the bag to one side for a moment so that I can show you these lovely papers. So you can choose these papers free during the month of January and February in 2023 for every £45 worth of product spend. So really worth having if you're going to buy some new stash, then make it up to £45 and you get to choose these papers as one of the choices that you could have. So I've only got 5 of the designs left because one of the designs I've already used entirely, but I'll show you what I have got. The design that's missing, incidentally, is some of these beautiful little blue cornflowers, purpley blue cornflowers, on a kind of smaller print scale with a purple dot background. But so these are the flowers. I'll lay the sheets down one at a time. So you've got this lovely sheet, so you've got a very busy sheet to start with, and then you've got this lovely sheet that you can cut horizontally in half, and then you have mirror image, so you've got 2 extra kind of pieces of paper, if you like, that you can use to make a lovely design. Then you've got this one, which is ovals of floral wreaths, as well as a couple of strips of floral border as well. And you can just cut these out in their entirety, stamp a sentiment in the middle, maybe add a couple of little bits of bling, and there's your card already made. We've got some foliage, and then we've got another nice kind of busy patterned flower design. And then if I turn these over, because obviously all Stampin' Up papers are double-sided designs, we've also got the back designs as well. So you've got this lovely greenery pattern, again kind of a watercolour wash style to it, and then you've got 2 sheets actually that give you this beautiful watercolour kind of freestyle freehand design along the back. So they make beautiful backgrounds to some of our cards as well. Lovely for scrapbooking as well, those. And then you've got some pastel dots and spots. And you've got this one, which is a lovely kind of blushing bride colour. Again, lovely floral imprints on that blushing bride. So those are the papers. And we're going to use today, and I'll give you the measurements as we go along as well, going to use 2 pieces of the patterned paper to make the front and the back of the bag. I've got identical pieces here. You'll notice they were both taken from that sheet that you cut in half horizontally. So I shall have my front and back of my little handbag gift bag in these. And all the measurements I'm going to give you today are in inches. So these patterned papers measure 7 inches across the base and 6 inches up the side, and they're 2 pieces that are exactly the same. So 7 inches across the base, 6 inches up the side. Put those to one side for a moment. And then you've got 2 pieces of coordinating cardstock. So I've used Rich Razzleberry for mine because it coordinates with the lovely stocks at the side of the flower pattern. And these measure, these will be measuring the full length of the A4 sheet. So that's just under 11 3/4 inches, but it is the full length of the A4 sheet. And if you're taking it out of 12 by 12 cardstock, then equally I would go the full length to 12 inches. But your measurement up the side, your width is 3 inches, and you've got 2 pieces again that are the same side, and these are going to make the sides of the bag and the base of the bag. And I'll show you that in a moment. And then finally, for the structure of the bag, you've got 2 handles as well, and your handles are cut from the circle dies. And they measure 3 inches in diameter for the outside circle, and let's just measure that, 2 1/4 inches for the, no, 2.5 inches, sorry, for the inner circle. So if you don't have circular dies, you know, you could use a cup or a glass or something, or a protractor, compasses if you're really, really clever, and be able to cut 2 circles. So those are for the bag handles. If you want to reinforce your bag handles, then you can back them onto each other so that you've got a bag handle either side of your patterned paper, completely up to you. For speed today, I'm just going to put 1 set of handles on, but I can show you that. So if I go back to the original bag, you'll notice that the sides have got a crease down them, so that when you pull them together, your handles join and you can actually hold the gift bag quite robustly from the handles. It also means that you could put little paper clips or crocodile clips or something on the edges if you want to, if you don't want your gift to actually be seen. But there's also plenty of room inside the gift bag that you can put tissue paper or something if you want to make it, you know, quite an attractive looking gift. And then the only addition in terms of decoration on the front is I've added a tag, and I've cut that from the tag dies. I think for me that's an essential in my kit, is the tag die set. It's fantastic, it's so versatile, and you can use them obviously as gift tags, but equally, as I've done here, for decoration, either on the front of a card or on the front of a gift bag. So, and then I've just added some flowers and sentiment and a bow. So I'll show you all those bits as we go along. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is to get our 2 pieces of patterned paper, and you want to adhere the handles to these 2 pieces of patterned paper. So what I'm going to do is try and work out roughly where the centre is of one of the pieces, and I'm using grid paper, so it's slightly easier for me to be able to work that out, because I know that 3.5 is the centre. So I am going to just mark the centre there at the top of the patterned paper, so that I know roughly where the middle of that that ring needs to go. And the same on this other piece, because we want the handles to match up when you hold them together. So 3.5 inches, and that's where the centre of the ring will go. So I'm going to use multi-purpose liquid glue to stick that down. Just going to do one at a time, so let's just move the other one out of the way for the time being. And obviously you're just sticking half of the handle. You don't want to go too far. And making sure that your glue is over the paper as well, so that you don't end up with a gluey mess and your handle stuck to the grid paper or the table underneath. And then I'm going to do exactly the same with the other one. I'm using a multi-purpose liquid glue, so a liquid rather than a tape, so that I can slide the handle around if I haven't got it in exactly the right position to begin with. So what I'm going to do is to turn my paper over of the handle that I've already done, layer this first one on top, and then when I go to stick this handle down, I can line it up. Oops, just make sure the glue's around the right way. I can line it up with the handle underneath, so that I know that when I pick up the handbag, the handles are gonna join. They're not going to be at odds with each other. Just get off any excess glue. You can just wipe away with your finger as well. So there we go. So we've got the two handles in the right place. Just going to leave those two really firmly dry for a moment before we do anything else with them. And don't worry about the little pencil mark that you've made in the top there, because we're going to cut these semicircles out so that you've got the kind of the shape where the handles will go. So we're just going to put those to one side for the time being and just let the glue really dry firmly on there. And I'm going to bring in instead my scoreboard and trimmer, because now I'm going to score these pieces of card that I'm going to be using for the base and the sides of the bag. So what I'm going to do is I want to have a 2-inch base to the card, and it's 3 inches wide, remember. So I'm going to score at 1/2 inch on either side, and that will give me my fold and crease lines for the sides of the bag, so that it's where it's going to actually attach. So just going to do 1/2 inch on one side and then turn it around and 1/2 inch on the other side. And I'm going to do that on both pieces of cardstock. This is our newer trimmer. I've had, many of you will know, I've had an old trimmer for a very long time. This is a new trimmer. It's fantastic because one of the best things about it, as far as I'm concerned, is the score piece comes before the cutting piece. So if you make a mistake and accidentally score when you were hoping to cut, you've done no damage. But equally, if it's the other way round and you really wanted to score and the cutting blade was in front, as it was on our old trimmer, then it was really easy to cut by accident. So I love this one. So you've got 1/2 inch, score line on either side to give you that 2 inches in the middle. And then what you want to do is to score again at 6 inches. So turn your card round so that the long side is at top and you're scoring at 6 inches. And that's the size of the sides of the bag. So then one final thing to do is where you have scored the 6 inches, that 6 inch side, and you'll see that if you get it confused and you're not sure because you've turned your bit of card around too much, just measure it up against the edge of your patterned paper so that you know which side is going to be the side of the bag. We need to put that little fold in, that little pleat in the side of the bag. So we're going to score down the middle, but only as far as that halfway line, and that's why we do the halfway line first. And then this piece across the bottom here is going to form the base of the bag. So we want to score at a halfway point, which is going to be 1.5 inches. So put that back into the trimmer and you're scoring 1.5 inches, but only as far as that halfway line. Okay, so that you've then got 3 score lines on the top and 2 score lines on the bottom with your halfway line in the middle. Okay, and then you're going to do exactly the same on the second piece. So with the short side at the top, you're scoring at 1/2 inch to begin with. So get it nice and square in your trimmer, and you're scoring at 1/2 inch, and then turn it round and you're scoring 1/2 inch on the opposite side, and those are going to form the attaching points for attaching to the side and the base of the bag. And then you're going to measure 6 inches, score across the middle once you've turned it around. So with the long side at the top, 6 inches across the middle. And then on the 6 inch side, you're going to score at halfway. So 1.5 inches, but remember you're only going down as far as that score line. So just down to that halfway point. And that is all your scoring done. So you've then got 3 score lines on the 6 inch side, 2 score lines on the slightly shorter side. So let's get rid of the scoreboard because we don't need that anymore. And now we just need to do a little bit of snipping. So what you're wanting to do is to differentiate between your base and your side. Okay, so if you fold it in half, you will see immediately that in order for these edges to also be able to be attached to the paper, the patterned paper, you need to make a little snip in them. And the best thing to do is to turn it over so that you've got the raised or mountain side of the fold towards you, and just cut out, just snip out either side of that little raised bump and just pull it out, because then you will get a really, really neat corner and a really neat finish when you come to fold up these edges and insert them into the bag. Okay, so I'm just going to start by doing that. So no bone folder needed at this stage, literally just folding it over so that then on the inside I can see that there's a little mountain formed in the fold. So just snipping down as far as that center line and then taking it out, taking that little piece that you get out. So it'll make a really neat fold. So you need some really sharp snips to be able to do this as well. Then I'm just going to pick up all those bits with a damp finger and get rid of those out the way. Okay, let's get the scissors out the way. And this bit is where you do now need your bone folder. So this is going to be the side. You've got your crease down the center here, so you can work out what you're going to be doing with your creasing. So the base pieces need to be folded over and creased, and folded over and creased, because they're going to attach to the bottom of your patterned paper to form the base of the bag, and they are going to overlap the sides. I'll show you in a moment, it'll make perfect sense. And then these outside pieces on your side piece, you're also going to fold inwards, because they're going to have pieces of pattern paper attached to them, but then your middle, your center score line needs to go the other way. So I'm going to turn it over and crease it the opposite way. Now you won't be able to get all the way down to the base, and actually that is okay. You can just push it a little bit with your fingers because it doesn't need to be a rigid fold. But as you can now see, this is the base of your bag. This is the side with your little pleat in the edge, and these are the places where that's going to attach to your patterned paper. Okay, so you need to repeat it on the opposite side. So all of your edges, all of your edge folds need to go inwards, and then your center fold on the side piece to create that little pleat needs to go the opposite way. So just fold it over, crease down as far as you can, and then just finish it off with a little bit of a crease with your fingers. So it doesn't need to be precise at the base. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now I'm going to put those two side pieces to the side. Let me just show you how they're going to go together actually. So you've got a side piece that's going to go like that, a side piece that's going to go like that. So they're going to slip inside each other, and those are the sides of your gift bag. Okay, so let's just put those to one side for the time being. And now I'm just going to take out, now that these have dried nicely, I'm going to take out that center circle. So you can do this using a die again if you're really precise about where you layer your die, or it's frankly just as easy if you've got nice sharp scissors to just take it out using a slightly angled scissor cut. So I am cutting, I'll show you when I take the paper away at the moment, I'm cutting it about 45 degrees so that I don't get that edge to the paper and I don't see. So I'm cutting that sort of angle so that you get a really nice clean cut. Okay, so let's get rid of that bit of pattern paper. I'm going to do exactly the same again. So we're just cutting out that pencil mark. Exactly the same again on this side. I like when I'm crafting to try and make things as simple as I possibly can for myself. And if that means not getting out the die cutting machine and just hand cutting a couple of bits where I know hand cutting can be just as effective, then that's what I'll do. So I'm just going nice and slow so that I don't make a huge mess with the edge of the scissors, but as you can see, we've neatly cut out that centerpiece. So that's really easy. And then all that's left to do is to glue it all together. So I'm going to start with the sides of the bag. So I'm just going to open it out. And again, I'm going to use wet glue so that I can slide the paper onto the edge pieces and make sure that they're really neatly against the folds before I kind of stick them rigidly down. So slide them up to the edge of the fold there. Make sure that they're nicely in position there. There we go. And then the same on the other side. So I'm going to put that one on that side. So same again, just wet glue down the edges. And then just sliding that into place so that the top is really square and even, and so that there we go, the edges are nicely butted up to that crease there. And then you'll see when I fold it over that it fits really nicely. Okay, and then the next thing to do is to add one of the other sides on, so that you've only then got the final side to do. So again, I'm going to, actually let's turn it over. So we've got the front facing piece. So again, just down the side here. And just slide that on so at the top is square with the top of the bag. So you're going to get a nice even top line. And then you can see you've got just one more side to fix, and you've got the bases to glue in place. Okay, so I think the easiest thing to do is actually to glue the bases next and then do the side at the very end. So what I'm going to do is to glue one base while it's open and flat, so that I make sure that it's on the inside of the bag. So I'm folding it up and over and lining it up there with the bottom line of the patterned paper. So I've got that inside. I'm going to do the same with the other piece. So again, making sure that it's inside. So I'm going to put it inside like that. So I'm just going to glue down that side first, the inside edge first. So working along the same side of the bag all the time. So this is like the back edge of the base of the bag, if you like. Don't need too much glue at this point. Again, just make sure that it's square. You can take that out actually. And the fact that you've got your base pieces overlap as well gives you a nice strength in the bag too. So you can put something reasonably hefty inside, a reasonably heavy gift, and it shouldn't go through the bottom of the bag. Now this time what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue this edge to this bottom base so that they are in the same place first. I'm going to put the outside edge on, or the side piece rather, on the outside rather than the inside, so that it matches the same as the others, because we don't want it to not look neat. So I'm just going to put, let's get that side out of the way. So just a little bit of glue on here to match these sides up first and make sure that they are going to be stuck firm before I try to stick them to the side, because less pieces of card flapping around, make it easy for yourself basically. Then let's just have a look, make sure I've got it on the right way. Yep, so that's going on the outside there. So again, I'll just put a little bit of glue in the corner so that that base corner stays put. Might have to hold that bit because there's not much surface area of the card there, so we'll just hold it in place for a few seconds while the glue dries. That's the other great thing about wet glue as well though, is if you hold it in place for a couple of seconds or allow it to go a little bit tacky before you actually stick the two surfaces together, then you'll find you get a really firm, strong bond. Okay, and then the final things to do is to put this, fold this other side down, so you're wanting glue along that bottom side and along the edge piece here as well. So I'm going to do the bottom first. And shall we be brave and do the side at the same time? Yeah, go on. I think we will. Be brave and do the side piece at the same time. If you're not confident with wet glue and you want to do it a bit at a time, that's okay. There's no shame in that. What I'm going to do is to kind of roll it down, as you can see. So I am only actually sticking one bit at a time because I really want this side to be square and to match up so that there's no patterned paper overhanging. But again, that's the beauty of using the wet glue, is that you can sort of slightly slide it around and move it around if you don't feel you've got it in exactly the right place. So So I'm going to have to stick my hand just inside and just push that side out just a little bit. And then just squeeze those pieces into place. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lie it down on its back and just get inside with the bone folder and press down those glued edges, particularly those last couple that I've just done, so that I know absolutely they are stuck firm. There we go. And that's your basic bag completed with your nice overlapping base inside. Okay, so you can leave that to dry if you want to, so just stick that to one side whilst you just make up your decoration. So I've pre-cut some pieces to do my decoration with. So I've got a label from, or a tag rather, from the tag die set. I've fussy cut some of the little flowers from the spare from this paper, and I'm going to layer that over the top there, and then I'm going to trim off these bits on the bottom, and then I'm going to stick my birthday wishes, which comes from the sending, I can't remember what the stamp set's actually called, but it's the sending well wishes of all different kinds from that stamp set. And then I'm going to, if you look at my original bag, I had a little freestanding, actually, it's not actually attached to either the tag or to the handle, but you could attach it to the handle, but a little bow with some ribbon. So I'm going to use this new ribbon. Let me just cut the seal off of this, and then we can see it. It's beautiful, this new ribbon from, again, from our new mini catalogue. It's Night of Navy, and it's, what kind of ribbon is it? It's called bordered ribbon. So it's sort of like a denim ribbon, but it's been made in the same kind of style as the In Colours ribbons, so it will go really nicely with those. And I'm going to use that to make a bunny ears bow to be able to stick it onto the bag. So let's start with just layering up these flowers on top. So I'm just going to stick them on with some 3D dimensional pads, of which, as you can see, I am almost out of the small ones. Got some larger ones. No, not almost out of the large ones as well. So everybody else use the bits around the edges as well. Don't let anything go to waste with your dimensionals. They also, once you've taken the backing off, you can actually kind of mould them as well, so that they'll go in different directions. If you want them to go round a corner or something, you absolutely can make them do that. And then I'm just going to stick that over on an angle to attach to the tag, and I'm just going to trim these stems off the bottom here. There we go. Just get rid of those. That's my tag. As you can see, I didn't even waste any of the paper. So the spare bit that was there off the top there, I've used that to stamp my birthday wishes on. Haven't used cardstock, just used patterned paper, and I'm going to stick that over the top. So I'm going to need a little bit of 3D on that end. So again, I'm just going to pull off a bit of the border and stick a little dab of glue, I think, on the bit that's going to attach to the stems, so that it really kind of holds it fast. So that'll be just about there. And just overlapping it there over the stems. There we go. So there's my tag. My tag's going to lie there at an angle across my birthday bag. Let's get those bits out of the way. And I'm going to stick that on, actually, so that it's slightly raised, so it shows nice, and you know, it shows really well against the bag. So again, I'm just going to use a random bit of border from the dimensionals pack. That's finished off that one. And just going to stick it, like I say, at an angle There we go. And then I'm going to cut a length of the ribbon and make a bunny ears bow with it. So in fact, I'm going to leave it on. I'm going to leave it on the ribbon. I think about that much should be about right. So to make a bunny ears bow, I'm sure you've done this loads of times before. I know we've done it in our classes many times. You make 2 loops or bunny ears. Boing, boing, boing. And then cross one set of loops over the other. And you've got a rabbit hole there. So you put this loop around the back and through the rabbit hole. I can find it. Oops, through the rabbit hole, there it is. And you just give it a pull if you can catch hold of it. I'm all fingers and thumbs now. There we go. Ooh. Let's try that again, shall we? So 2 rabbit ears. Cross them over till you've got your bunny hole through the hole. There we go. And just give it a bit of a pull. Now, once you've got it through and you've got your bow, then you can hold the knot firmly in the middle and you can then adjust the bow to how much you want in terms of kind of the size of your bow loops and the length of your ribbons and things. So I'm going to have fairly long ribbons and I'm going to stick that on first and then I'm going to cut them off afterwards. So I'm actually going to use another different adhesive. I'm going to use a glue dot. Glue dots are fantastic. If you've not got them in your stash, you don't use them. They are absolutely wonderful for going behind the knot of a bow to be able to stick your bow where you want it to go. They're really good. They're super sticky. And you can literally, so I'm deliberately putting that so that it's over the top of the knot of the hole in the tag. Because I don't want to show that I didn't actually thread that through the hole, because that would be quite a faff and I can't be bothered to do that. So then I just put my ribbons where I want them to be. If you want your ribbons to be pointing downwards, your ribbon ends, you can put another glue dot underneath each of the ends if you want to. What you do need to remember to do though is just to neaten off your ends. I always neaten mine by making them just a little diagonal cut. And there we go. There is your finished gift bag. Let's bring in the other one. Different papers, equally as beautiful, I think you'll agree. These papers, free with an order of £45 or more from any of our selling sites. So could be from the main catalogue, could be from the new mini catalogue, could be from our clearance racks or our kits collection, but they are, you have a free product to choose with every £45 you spend all the way through January and February in 2023. So do take a look at those, they're really beautiful. And I think you'll agree, a really nice, decent sized gift bag that you could put a beautiful birthday gift in. Yeah, so thanks for making this project with me. And if you want to catch more from Papercraft with Jenny, then do check out either the Facebook page or the pre-recorded things that are on this YouTube channel. And I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.